Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the MRL Lights series. I almost said Richmond series for a hot second because this is the second time around for the Richmond to show up on the schedule. We were just here this past Saturday, and now it is time to go and show what these guys have for the Xfinity cars. Now, there are some that were in this race that were in the last race. Mainly, Story Square, who is our one of our podium finishers. We also have Xander. There he is. That was our winner. Cyber's not in this race, but we have others that were in that race, meaning like Sauce, and we also have Bassbuck as well. But that is basically where the list ends. And that's only four drivers that I just listed right there. So, out of the other competitors here, 12 drivers, this is their first time on the track this weekend. And we have a lot in store for tonight here at Richmond. 125 laps are on docket. That is going to be a sprint when it comes to the grand scheme of things. Oh, we have a late challenger. There he is, Monsters. That's another driver to add to the mix right here. And just like that, it is time to roll. So as I unpause the timer and let them know, rolling. There we go. We are looking at a fantastic starting order tonight. We have always Joker on pole. It has been a few races since he's been able to join us. He's put in the last place points here and there, and unfortunately, just was not able to race in one of those races. So he's a little bit back in the points, but he is on docket to have a great finish tonight. We also have Soaps as well. That is going to be P2 right alongside him, and that is just a Fusion Autosport 1-2 right there. And I'll tell you what, they did not have a good week last week. We had Freedom Flyer that was in a bit of a bind last week at Canadian Tire, not having the finish that he would have wanted. Essentially, it was a start and park. 15th is where he is going to be, or where he finished, and because of that, that absolutely hurt Fusion Autosport in points, the team points mainly. GMI was able to gain a lot of ground, so that's good news for them. However, you can see that because of that little shakeup, we have a lot in store for tonight. Keith is also in that race. I should have also mentioned that. I apologize. Can't disrespect the name of Keith like that. And so with that, we have a lot of interesting. Runnings here tonight. Of course, joining us in the in-race streamers is the Sauce. He is actually our points leader going into tonight, so I definitely want to get him on docket. But then we also have a Xander, and I want to see his POV because of just how dominant he was in the Cup Series. So we have two different POVs, all from the same team, and as we rock and roll right here, you can see that the driver's already getting a little stomping start. It is very, very tough track that we are working with right here. You can see right there just how hard it is. Nike Boy wants to take it 3 wide, and he will. Already getting very, very racy right here. Going 3 wide into turn 1. Masopes is up high. Nike's down low. And Joker is smack dab in the middle. And just like that, Nike Boy gets on the apron. And there is a crash all the way into the back. And that will probably be our first caution of the race. No caution yet. There it is. Oh my goodness. That doesn't work all the way down to the apron. And Nike going from one of the going for the lead all the way to the back and outside of the top 15. That is how quickly things can change. One wrong move, one misstep, and you are out of here. So this actually allows for a lot of interesting strategy here because drivers can actually go and get their setups in a lot earlier than you can expect. And I can say right now that people are wanting to get into the into these for Mr. Feelgoods already going into this. There we go. People blowing up the Discord saying, "Come on, like Nike, what are you doing?" So with that, always Joker is going to be restarting on the top spot here. But we also have a couple other drivers that are going to be taking a little bit of strategy. We have the 21 of Kobe that is going to be with us. Up here in that P4 position, you have Freedom Flyer right behind him in P3, and that is a Fusion Autosport podium right there as we speak. And so definitely these guys are looking to have a great start. But Masopes did not have a good turn 3, and just like that, he is going to be kicked all the way out, again 3 wide, going into turn 1. Being on the outside is definitely not where you want to be, and of course he's taken the scenic route around there in order to go all the way around, but Kobe nowhere to go. Masopes is all the way into the back, and will have to find a way through the field yet again. Now, just a little up the ways, you can see that the 0 of GTR Beatty actually was able to snake his way on through. Starting P10, he's found himself on the cusp of the top 5, and now he's a person to watch right here. So let's actually go on board with him for a hot second. Mike G not having a great start as we're kind of just cycling through the field. Here's Beatty right here, just trying to break into the top 5, but looks like Story Square is going to try to get that from him. Just outside of it, as Story Squares is on the outside looking in. Bassbuck right behind this little trio as well. The 10 of Monster also having a very strong start. Richmond is one of his best tracks, mind you. So definitely, he is a short track ringer when it comes to NASCAR Heat 5. So I'm definitely interested and intrigued on how he will run this race. 17 drivers are total with us tonight. We do actually have 3 last place points finishes. We have Clay that will get 18th place, Agent Orange will get 19th, and Just Ken will get 20th. And that is all, of course, based on when they told me they want last place points, and priority is given to those who tell me first. So, because of that, Clay will get 18th, Agent Orange 19th, and then 20th will be Just Ken. However, they will not count for their team total, so that's going to be good news for the drivers, and the captains, I should say, that are gunning for the team championship. Of course, after this race, we only have basically 2/3 of the race left after this, so it is time to nut up or shut up here. And speaking of, we have Always Joker still out in front, but Freedom Flyer is heating up that rear end. And just like that, he's looking for a little run down low, and he will get to the bottom there. Freedom Flyer trying to get that low side to work from, and he will. A little bit of tap there on the backstretch, just saying, "Hey man, I'm trying to get past you," and he will. Freedom Flyer will come on around and get 5 bonus points for leading lap into 44 for Hamilton right behind. Now, funnily enough, actually, he said that he actually did 225 laps going last night. That was in our friends over at Cobra. They do their Sunday Night League, and it just turns out, funnily enough, it's Richmond there. So he just came off of, I should probably go on board with it if I'm talking about him. He just did 225 laps last night, and then we have some guys that did 200 laps the night before. Absolute scenes. We love it when schedules line up like that. It's funny, but I'm sure it sucks for those that that have to pull the double, maybe even triple duty like that. So because of that, we have a little bit of interesting scenarios here. Of course, the biggest storyline of the night is 4 points separating the top 2 in points. We have Sauce, that is currently our points leader. He is 4 points above, as I was saying. But we also have P. Colligator, who I should probably go on board with there. He is a couple cars behind Nike Boy. Now, critically, he is 10th place right now. That means he gets 1 point for the end of the stage. Sauce, of course, has 3 points to give after that. So, of course, Sauce is trying to gun for the top spot, and trying to get some of those stage points, and he still has plenty of time, 20 laps left in this stage, and plenty of time to do it. But Pete Cola has all these positions in front of him. You see GTR Beatty, you have Story Square, Nike Boy, and Bassbuck all in this little train right here. So he's looking to have getting a little bit dollar signs in his eyes, and wants a little positions here and there. B-Comp back here, probably not the start of the race that he would have wanted, as Denke loses it on the backstretch, and he is going to get a free position right there, B-Comp is. So excellent job by him. Unfortunately, not the start that either of those two would have wanted, but I'm sure they are pretty okay with it as they are running. Monster getting relegated back to P5, But looking at Hamilton just in front of him, trying to get that P4. And again, Monster looks really racy here. Let's actually talk about Monster a little bit. Not the start of the season that he would have wanted. Of course, internet issues kind of plague him, and also just sometimes bad luck as well. I'm trying to pull him up right here. So far, his best finish is 9th so far this season, and that was at Daytona. So because of that, he wants to add at least another tick to that top 10 mark, and so far he's doing an excellent job getting some good stage points. In fact, you may be wondering where he is on points. He is actually P10 in the standings, 153 points on out of the championship, but critically, he's actually miles ahead of both the championship protagonists. In fact, actually, the other two championship protagonists, minus out Sauce and P. Cola, Bass Buck and Mike G. Let's add Freedom Flyer as well in there. Freedom as well is running in P2, so this is going to be an excellent points night for all of these drivers here that are trying to throw their hat into the ring of maybe I can get a championship out of this. I know it's a little early to start talking about favorites, but there is still plenty of time for these drivers to get acquainted with each other as well as their teams and the driving styles of different tracks. Because after this, we're going to Kansas, baby. Looks like Story Square as well got a little loose, so he's going to be on out of the pack. So that's a position for both Sauce as well as Pete Cola. So that's bad news for Sauce because he's still on out of the the points gap. And wait a minute, hold the phone. Hang on, going on through. That's exactly what you don't want to see. Fusion Autosport has lost Masopes. Unfortunate, he has been plagued with internet issues for quite some time, and now here he is, stuck on pit road again. Oh my goodness, when can this man catch a break? We saw him be dominant at Daytona, but ever since then, it has been such a slippery slope downhill, getting a P9 at Auto Club, but a P18 at Phoenix, and then just a no-show at Canadian Tire. Internet issues seem to strike him whenever he shows up, and that is unfortunately the end to his night. So moving forward, though, we have a little bit of a conundrum here, because as we are quickly closing in on 10 laps to go actually this time as we cross the line now, the top two have kind of broken away right here, and you see Freedom Flyer start to lose touch with Joker here. Now this could mean a bunch of different things. That Joker maybe is running a little bit tighter preset, maybe Freedom Flyer is running a little bit looser and the tires are starting to warm up. But I don't know if that is just indicative of maybe a little bit of team games here. Just saying, hey, you know what? I'll protect you, you protect me. So because they lost their third racer in this race, and that is Masopes on out. So because of that, now they're all they got. So essentially, it's a go big or go home type of moment right here. And speaking of, Pete Cola actually was able to snag like I said, P9. So as Sauce is trying to close on in on Mike G, this is P10. Mike G moves on up into the stage point territory, and that is definitely going to help him out in terms of the grand scheme of things, as the rest of his championship contenders are ahead of him. But still, some points are better than no points, and definitely you want to get that done and over with. So as we are just kind of cycling on through the fields, looking to see if there's any battles. Of course, the big one right here is for P5, 6, and 7. P5 is Nike. P6 belongs to P6 belongs to Nike. 7th, Beatty, and then P8 belongs to Bass. Bass, of course, is one of our championship favorites going into this race. Just coming off of a Sportsman title as well as a Challenger title. Sportsman ran on Mondays prior to Lights here, as well as Challenger being on Tuesdays in the Xfinity cars with that very car. Looking to have a very strong start. However, he's kind of had a very up and down season so far. Not the greatest starts of the season in Daytona, that kind of put him behind the 8 ball, but a 4th, 5th, and a 6th. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm allergic. The fourth, fifth, and a sixth were his finishes after that race, and because of that, he now sits P3 in the standings, 30 points on out. So definitely still has a lot of work to do, but he can still have a lot of impact on how this season will turn on out because, like I said, still plenty of time left to roll here. But not there is not a lot of time for this stage, and because of that, as we come on around for coming up on 2 laps to go, Freedom Flyer was actually able to get on past Joker, so I apologize for missing that. We're going to be on board with this battle because this will be for the stage win. 2 laps to go here. Xander is actually 2 seconds off the pace, so he definitely has a lot of work to do going into this. Going into this next stage, our Saturday winner will have his hands full, and with 1 lap to go, coming off of the turn 4, Joker is going to make a look to the inside. Will he dive it on down? No, he will arc the corner here. I like that. Forces Freedom to kind of second guess where he's going to go and nowhere to go. Oh, Joker gets a little loose off turn 2, and going into turn 3, Freedom will actually hold off the ever so present, always Joker here, and will get the stage win. Joker will have to get P2, and after that it'll be Xander, then Hamilton. Monster will get P5. P6 will actually belong to Beatty. 7th would be Nike. P8 will be Bass. P9 will be Picola, and then P10 Mike G. So I'm a little behind the 8 ball here. Apologies about that, but we are back with that. I was on a little bit of a delay right there. I'm trying to get back to where I was. There we go. As we just kind of wait for these drivers to come on down, Denkate will get the lucky dog here, so excellent job getting back into it. We'll have to see if the Discord is blowing up. We'll have to see here. Oh, so apparently Bassbuck is apologizing to Story Square, saying he got hit, so that's probably why Story Square is so far behind out of the stage point territory. No major changes on pit road, not that I'm seeing at least. Actually, no, I see Sauce will get a position on Mike G, and he will get dropped by extension. So Story Square will be behind the 8 ball here. B-Comp will finally be back into competition here, as him and 21 actually share like an identical scheme. So those guys are definitely looking a little bit crazy here. 3 wide. Speaking of crazy, Nike thought about it, but after turn 1, lap 2, it was just like, nah, you know what? I better not. So because of that, backing on off right here, Freedom actually going to be able to extend his gap right here, and we'll be able to kind of snake away with a little bit here. Story Square looking to go 3 wide. Keith will still be up top. 3 wide quickly turns into 2 wide into the back of the pack. And as we go single file towards the front, Nike boy, there we go. Never mind. We are going to go 3 wide. Nike on the bottom, Monster in the middle, and looks like Beatty will back on out in order to just let them be side by side. Very, very close racing here at Richmond. A little bit beating and banging, but that is short track racing, baby, as Denny Hamlin would say. So Monster now to the outside. He's looking to quickly get back to the bottom side in order to get into a rhythm here. Now, critically here, Picola is actually able to close in and get a couple positions here. Already passing Beatty, looking to get the spot on Bassbuck now, and that puts Sauce behind the 8 ball. Getting into the 21 of Kobe a little bit there. Gonna knock him off the track. No harm, no foul. But Sauce definitely has a lot of work to do and has his work cut out for him. Mike G, though, probably getting back into that ship right here, back into P10. So that's exactly where he wants to be. Monster, though, probably is still on the outside, wanting to get down. So as he is up top, as we see a couple cars up top right there. Keith or in the back, I should say. Keith getting up to the wall. And just like that, saying, hey, I didn't appreciate that, to the 15 right there. And those two are going to go at it. A lot of beating and banging back here between the 6 and the 15. Absolute scenes that we're watching right here. So we'll have to see what comes of that, if anything. Usually these issues kind of sort each other out, but we'll have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Battle for the top three have kind of simmered on down. They're now, or top four, I should say, because Hamilton's also gone single file. But the battle for P6 on P5 now belongs to Bass. P6 trying to get on P-Cola, and he is quickly on a move. Mike G as well. Sauce, you can see the desperation now, trying to get a little. He's getting a little antsy. Monster onto the bottom of the apron right there, got crazy loose off the corner. And because of that, we'll have to lose a lot of positions. But now Sauce is trying to get past these three right here because his championship contender has already passed them. So Sauce being so loose already, trying to hold and right that ship in order to just sail on by. Meanwhile, let's go up to the actual leaders. There's Monster. Here's the top three, all on a single file line right now. Oh, Xander getting crazy loose, actually popping the walls just a little bit. No harm, no foul. Nothing too crazy was lost. This stage is 33 laps, by the way, I should mention. So because of that, this is a very short stage. Without a caution to kind of separate these guys from each other, we are looking at a lot of these drivers just really playing out how a long run would fit in their game plan here. In all of these races, honestly, you don't have to, or in all of these stages, I should say, you do not actually have to pit. Your fuel indicator does not make you pit, but it's all about the tire wear. So tires may play a factor, because of course, Richmond is a, well, it's not a high tire wear track as in like your tires are literally burning. It's a high tire wear track as in like it feels like your tires are burning. After like 5 laps, you already start getting loose. So it's all about preset choice, especially in these Xfinity cars where every little bit matters. And every choice that you make in terms of how aggressive you take the corner, or how you want to get past someone, all comes about in some way, shape, or form. As soon as I cut away from it, by the way, we see a pass for P2. Xander taking the P2 away, but Joker is going to be there to try to just try to stop him. That puts Xander up on the top side, which is actually the not preferred side there in turns 3 and 4. It actually kind of is in turns 1 and 2. It all depends on how you take the corner, and just like that, Joker is able to get on by, but that's just because of how the bumps work there in 3 and 4. If you were watching his POV, which is actually in the social media tab of the Discord, he was kind of shaking through there. It's like, it's very much the shocks are not set up properly in order to absorb the impact of the bumps. Taking a quick swig of coffee. French vanilla, in case anyone cares. As we look on through the field, everyone's kind of finding themselves now in their rhythm. Of course, we still have the battle for P2 going on, but then we also have the battle for P7. The caboose on this train is GTR Beatty in that 0, and Beatty, of course, being a new driver to the series, actually brand new driver to the league, I should say, having only raced a few other races before, once in Challenger, and then also once other in last week Canadian Tire, where he made his lights debut. Beatty is looking for a strong start for it to kick off his lights career. Of course, plenty of time left to go in the series, but the drivers that brought up, like Story Square as well, that were brought up a little bit too late, like Nike Boy in the 98 as well, they're going to be out of the championship hunt, but they can still get some good points and definitely help out their team owners in order to get the team championship. Nike Boy, speaking of, goes up to the top side. That is not going to help out his cause. As we saw with Monster, he is going to quickly lose all of this ground, and Sauce is going to be able to get to the bottom here. As long as he can actually hold it, he should be able to get it here into turn 3, because turn 3 you can actually just charge the corner. Well, and there you go. He's going to gas in. Nike gives plenty of space right there to the outside, and because of that, Beatty is thinking about going 3 wide. He thought about it, but quickly decided, he's like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Nike is still on the top side there, and Beatty now is going to try to get to the inside. Classic short track move. As soon as you get shuffled to the outside, it is so hard to get off of it. And because of that, you see just the moves right there. Beatty getting loose. Nike, same thing. I'm sure Nike is a little upset, saying that, hey, you know, let's stop fighting here. Let's try to make something happen. But unfortunately, no room for error in this series because of how stacked the field is. Coming around this time, we are at 10 to go, I should say. So because of that, stage 2 is quickly coming to an end. So Bassbuck is going to get some good stage points here. Same thing with Hamilton. Critically getting some more on his championship rivals, which is going to be a great help in the long run, because especially next week at Kansas is going to be crazy, especially for the Xfinity cars. I don't want to jump already to next week, but the Xfinity cars is a lot harder to save fuel. And if I recall correctly, it is a fuel race when it comes to Xfinity. Oh, a big moment by Freedom Flyer. I don't know if he got tight or he got loose, but Joker is now going to try, and he charges the corner. Going into it, Freedom is going to give up the position, but now that's going to open up the door for Xander to try to get on past. Now Freedom is going to have the position up top. Joker not in position to get the corner properly, is going to rise on up, and that is going to be a position loss for Freedom. Now Xander has opportunity to charge the corner, and he is there, but Joker is going to chop off the nose of the 54. Excellent move by the 54 to realize that, hey, you know what, that move was not going to stick, and he just kind of was patiently waiting, just kind of goosing the throttle. And now, how quickly things can change. Now the 8 is going to be back on row 2 should they finish like this. And don't look now, that 44 has something to deal with this. Oh, and the 39 is going to hit the apron. That's going to allow the 54 to get on past, and there we go. The 54 charging the turn 3 is able to get on past, maybe 3 wide. No, we will actually. 54 up top, 39 down low. The 8 backs on out. Now it's just 2 wide. And oh, a little bit of contact between there. The 8 pushing the 39 all the way through. And again, how quickly things can change. The 54 now getting popped out of the way and into P3. Now the 8 hitting the apron there in turns 3 and 4. Trying to just get back on here. All this battling has allowed the 44 to get up top, and now the 18 is looking to get a little feisty with it. What's going on, Curtis? How you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying the race. We have 5 laps to go. Make that 4 laps to go in this stage. Stage 2 out of 3. Joker has won. Freedom Flyer has won the first stage. Joker has won the second. Is in position to win the second, I should say. I'm kind of a little all over the place right now. But with the laps ticking on down. By the way, I should point on out, P. Cola is on pit road. P. Cola Gator is on pit road. Championship implications right here, especially because they just lapped Denkate. That means he'll have to stay on out and take the wave around. I'm not sure why he's on pit road, but he is. In fact, he will actually lose another lap coming on around, and will, unfortunately, not even a wave around will put him on the lead lap. Oh my goodness, and that is absolute scenes, and that puts Sauce up into the top spot, and just like that, we saw him leave. P. Cola's race is over. P2 in the standings has DNF'd, and just not take away from that, but coming on around for the stage 2 victory comes the 39 of Joker, the 54 trying to put some pedal to the metal, but nowhere to go. And coming to the line, the 39 will get the top spot for stage 2, the 54 P2, Freedom Flyer P3 with Hamilton P4 and Bassbuck P5. We'll have to wait for the rest of it coming on through after that. P. Cola Gator, absolute scenes. literal championship implications. Let's see here. Sauce P6, Mike G P7, BCom P8, BD P9. Story Square will get the final points total here, and looks like we are going to be right at the fuel number for Stage 3, exactly on it. Should these drivers, let's see here. That was fun to watch. Should these drivers not have a yellow, they will be right on their number here. So no pitting is mandatory here for this stage. However, a lot of things can happen. Tempers can flare. We already saw what happened with the 6 and the 15. In fact, they're going to be back together again, so I want to see what happens here. And just like that, Sauce already going 3 wide behind these drivers. The 0 is going to get spun on around. The 10 is going to be in the back, trying to get back up to speed. And Beatty is going to be behind the 8 ball. I'm not sure what happened there, but he is going to be behind it. Here is the 6, and now the 61 getting to the back of the 15. The 99 kind of being forced up the hill, and I think I know why the 61 was popping the 15 is because it looks like he has a little bit of lag. Nothing too crazy, but still 3 wide here going into turn 1. Hamilton getting knocked out of the way all the way back to a few hornets nests, I will say, and now he's trying to make his way up front. Sauce here now in P5, and just like stage 2, the top 3 finding themselves in a row. This time with Bass in tow. Sauce as well up here, Mike G up here, Story Square up here, and unfortunately we have Beatty that is in the back of the pack trying to get back to it. Everyone though, still in a very good position right here. Like I said, everyone will be on their fuel indicator. So I actually want to take a moment and as I go on board with our leader, just to kind of listen in on team communications to see what they're saying. A lot of strategy talk, I should say. We have Sauce. I like how he said in the pre-race that he was going to unmute himself so we could hear him talk, but he's not talking. So, and we have Xander and Bass in a party. So, of course, those two are talking about their cars and how it's maybe not the best on the short run, but that long run will definitely kick up and be able to turn up some fast laps here. So we have plenty of racing left in our hands. 38 laps, so basically an entire first stage worth of laps to go here. Very, very short, actually. 200 laps to these guys and 225 laps for the guys that ran yesterday are not gonna. This is not gonna feel like any kind of issue at all for them. But 125 laps will be a sprint. And speaking of, Bass looking a little vulnerable right now, trying to just hang on for that long run to kick in, because he was closing in on the leaders as they were as they were going at it. Keith now in off of turn two with the zero. Unfortunately, that is well behind the eight ball, and Denkate as well behind the eight ball. Here he is just behind or just in front of the zero and the six. So Denkate having a good race so far, up into P13, I do believe, if I counted correctly. And unfortunately, we do have two cars out of this race. So let's actually go through the field. So, of course, starting on the front of the field, we have the 39 Joker. Very dominant car so far this season. When he does race, he has always been a force to reckon with. And so definitely, because of that, he is looking to have another win in that win column. He already has one at Phoenix, but after that, he is been winless. He's missed two races, Auto Club and Canadian Tire, so he's well behind the eight ball, but he has not finished outside the top 10. And just behind him, you have the 54 is Xander, who has already won this season, but unfortunately did not put in for points last week for Canadian Tire. So that number 54 was a little behind. Or sorry, it was Phoenix, I should say, that he didn't show up for. He didn't show up for last race points for Phoenix. Freedom Flyer as well, right behind. Did not have the start he would have wanted for the for that number 8 machine last week. However, it looks like he's rectifying that tonight and trying to get into another championship for his team of Fusion Autosport. The 18 of Baswick right behind him. Of course, we've already been talking about how Challenger Season 3 champion, as well as Sportsman Season 2, Season 2 champ. However, looking to be in P4 and looking a little vulnerable to the 99 of Sauce, who is right behind him, who is our championship leader as of now. After that, right behind him, we have the 7 of Mike G. Mike G, unfortunately, did not have a strong start to the Canadian Tire event, getting all sorts of loose in the double right-handers. And the 61, though, was quite opposite right behind him. That is P7 of Story Square, winning that, winning the Saturday race and coming oh so close with another podium there on the Monday race. Just behind him is the 44 of Hamilton. I'm trying to get with him eventually. There we go. The 44 of Hamilton. This is P8. He is having a very up and down season. Having a kind of rectifying the ship here, starting with Canadian Tire to get another podium. But now here he is behind the 8 ball yet again. Was strong in stage 1 and 2, but unfortunately stage 3, that's where the check pays. And unfortunately, he kind of got roughed up, and now he's behind the pack right here. But still, plenty of laps to go, and a lot of things can happen. Just behind him, we have the 21 of the 98 spins right back here, I should say. So he's trying to get back going. 98 may just park it. I'm willing to bet. But yeah, we have the 21 of Kobe looking to have a strong start. And let's talk about the lead here for a hot second. So as I pull away from our top 10 here, we will be back with that here in a second. The 54 is giving a little bit of run for the 39's money, and because of that, he is looks like he's going to get it right here. But lap traffic will play a factor. The 15 of B Comp is coming on, is leading that trio right there. It looks like that is a little bit of lag coming from him, so I'll definitely have to watch out for that. The 39 though of Always Joker right behind in P2. In the 8 of Freedom Flyer, still behind in P3. So Xander trying to go for the Richmond sweep. We have another person coming down the pits as the 10 of Monster. And the 98, I do want to ask and see if he did call it a race. We'll have to see, though. We know the 08 of Piccolo did. There's Monster actually pitting. Looks like the 98 of Nike has called it a night. Unfortunate for Ooh, big moment for the 1 and the 61 right here. The one getting on out of the way just in the nick of time. But lap traffic will play a factor, as we can see, because now the 54 is coming up on the 6. And now we have our top 10, or sorry, outside the top 10 is a little kerfuffled right now. So I'm actually very curious as to how and what these tires are looking like right here, because like I said, these guys may be pushing their limits on tires. Fuel-wise, they're looking a-okay, but tires, maybe another story that I'm not quite familiar with. The 6 of Keith is going to give way right here, so excellent move by him. And tip of the hat moment to him. And it looks like behind we have the 18 of Bassbuck getting the position on the 8. But the 8 is going to charge the corner. A little bit of contact's going to be made. I'm sure Bassbuck is going to not really appreciate that. He's probably going to charge the corner right here, kind of give him a piece of his mind, and read just right like that. Trying to give a good old bump and run, but the 8 doesn't flinch, and that's very critical. Moving back forward, the 54, hard blocking, really compromising his entry. That allows the 39 to have the opening to get to the bottom just like that, and that's exactly what Joker was doing. By forcing him down low, the 54 compromised his entry, and now he's going to be vulnerable all the rest of the laps here. Now the 6 is going to be right behind. And now that 10, actually the 10 as well is not for position. He is trying to get his lap back the hard way. And that is a little unfortunate for these drivers. Very good news for the 7 right there, actually getting the position on both of these drivers. But Sauce kind of, I would have to say, kind of getting the better of that right here. But definitely, the 10 could have handled that a lot better than he actually did. Playing the patient game, but unfortunately, it is what it is at this point, and will be, and will have to just be ran accordingly. So right now, it is very interesting how the 10 pit when he did. Are we looking at maybe tires not lasting the entire stage right here? I'm not sure. I've not seen anyone even look at their tire indicator yet. So I don't know. This may be interesting here. The 10 is not for position. He's trying to get his lap back right here. And even then, he's trying to get one of his lap backs because he actually went 2 down. So even then, after this, he'll be 1 lap down. If it's not a tire life thing, then all of this may be for nothing. As I want to look into the back right here, this is absolute chaos back here. The 61 of Story Square and the 8 of Freedom Flyer, all of these guys now in a big old wad trying to navigate lap traffic, and now the 18 is probably the biggest loser off of that, and now he is back in the back of this little train. The 61 kind of driven up the hill by the 8. This is where the tempers are flaring here. These guys are really being tested on their patience, especially at this short track. The 61 coming on down, the 8 not being able to hold, or sorry, the 61 not being able to hold the bottom, and now, getting, popping the 61 to the wall. I'm sure the 61 is not too happy with that, and the 7 right behind just kind of saying, hey man, I'm just here, I don't want anything to do with this. I was trying to go on back with the leaders. It looks like the 10 was able to pass the leaders was able to pass the leaders. Clay is watching. Hello, man. Thank you for popping in. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened with Nike. Maybe you can illuminate me. But here is our top 2. Sauce right here, right behind for P3. Sauce, I'm sure this is probably the best news for him all race. He didn't have quite the car that he would have wanted the entire stage, but with 10 laps to go here, if these two get into it, Sauce may walk away with the dub. And speaking of, the 8 of Freedom Flyer, trying to get back on that horse is now P4, getting back around the 61. So unfortunate for them, for the rest of this group, because he is going to be hard charging to try and get back to it. 9 laps to go. Let's watch this right here, because this is still lap traffic playing a factor. The 10 of Monster is still a lap down car technically, and because of that, he has to just be aware that what's going on, Nathan? How are you doing? He still has to be aware that he has two leaders behind him that are racing for position. So hopefully these guys are aware of their surroundings. I mean, I know that sounds obvious, but with three lap down cars, potential lap down cars in front of our leaders, this may get tasty here, ladies and gentlemen. The Zero is saying, nah, I'm not having it, and giving plenty of space. Very tip of the hat move to him. This is going to come on down to the 39 or the 54. These laps are quickly coming on down to the wire. The 54 getting a little bit loose. The 39 holding on for dear life at this point. The tires are being pushed to their limits, and their setups are now being tested. Do you have the long run car? Do you have a short run car? And if you do, can you hold on for just those few extra laps? The 54 really hard charging here, but he's running out of time. He got close, but now he's starting to lose a little bit of ground here. Not the 3 to go. No, we are coming up on 5 to go. This time around, 5 to go. So let's take a quick break from that. Here is the battle for P5. The 61 has it. The 18 wants it. Looks like the 7 lost a little bit of ground. Not quite sure what happened there. So that is what's happening here. So Hamilton's able to get past, but he gets loose. So the 7 of Mike G able to get on past the 21. Just kind of hanging out. Kobe doing an excellent job so far in this race. And lap traffic is playing a factor right here. And here we go. We're seeing tire lights on. So we're seeing it live. Coming to 3. Tires are playing a factor. Were you able to save that little extra amount going into the final stint of the race? 3 laps to go. We're going to be on board with Xander for this entire run right here, because the 39 is actually our leader. Is the 15 going to let both of them go? Yes, they will. So that is 1 down. And coming off of turn 4, the 54 has only 4 more opportunities to get there. 2 more laps to go. The 39 has a little bit of clear track in front of him. Has to set things up. The 1 is going to be out of the way. The 10 is trying to get that position right there. That will be for position. Now the 1, we're going to try to get out of the way, but then Gate, holding the bottom. This may play factor right here. And now that is the exact opportunity that the 54 needed. The 39 may see a bump and run right here. Yep, there it is. Now will the 54 repay him in kind? Coming on through right here. The 39 going into turn 3. He has to expect that. Coming on through the bumper, but nowhere to go with it. The 54 charges, but he will hold it. Oh my goodness, the 39, what could have been at the line? Lap traffic did play a factor, and the 39 was able to hold it. Wow. P3 belongs to Sauce, so that is our podium. Excellent job by him to hold on there at the end. We have Freedom Flyer going to be P4. P5 will belong to Story. Bassbuck P6. P7 Mike G. P8 is Kobe. P9 Hamilton. P10 B-Comp. P11 will be Beatty. You already scrolled up. Never mind. So I don't know. I can't tell. Ooh, and Discord is blowing up right now. People kind of upset with Monster, and to be honest, I don't blame them. Keith, P12, Monster, P13, Denkate, 14th, Nike Boy, P Cola, and Masopes, 15th, 16th, and 17th in that order. Fast lap goes to Hamilton with a 21.269, 1/10 off a pole. Unfortunately, we do not give points for fastest lap, but hey, congrats. Let's get our top 3 up in here to the booth, because I am very curious as to hear what they have to say. Oh, Hamilton may have blown a tire, so that's probably what happened there. Let's get him up in here so we can hear what they have to say. All right, I know that kind of took forever, but when some people don't show up online, you kind of have to find out other ways of doing stuff. So let's revisit our top 10 here. Um, and or sorry, not top 10, our full race results, and kind of go over it again. Of course, we have Joker P1, Xander P2, Sauce P3, Freedom Flyer P4, Story Square P5, Bass P6, Mike G P7, Kobe P8, Hamilton P9. Looks like he actually did blow a tire at the end right there, so unfortunate for him. That is probably what he was referring to in the chat. Bcomp P10, P11 belongs to Beatty, Keith P12, Monster P13, Denke P14, Nike P-Cola, and Masopes 15th, 16th, and 17th in that order for our DNFs. And then we have last place points, which aren't shown, but we have 18th will belong to Clay, 19th will be Agent Orange, and P10 or 20 will be Just Ken. Of course, that is given because of the order that they sent it to me. And we do have everyone up in here right now, so let's talk about it, man. We do have a lot to talk about. So let's move on to I guess our P3 finisher here. That is Sauce. Sauce, man, are you with? Are you alive after that?
I'm here. I got through the carnage in the trenches, and I'm in third.
That was, I'll tell you what, that was probably not so much for you, but for a couple others that you were around. As you said, they were in the trenches. A lot of lap traffic playing a factor, and sometimes themselves playing a factor. We saw tempers flare. What was it like from your POV?
Listen, I knew he was on fresh tires. I let him by me, and I just got in where I could, and just came out third, and just tried to hold on to it at the end. Just tried to make my way up each stage and give myself an opportunity.
Yes, and unfortunately, unfortunately, it did not come to fruition to get that win. However, a podium is still great, especially coming off of Canadian Tire. You have a generous point lead after the unfortunate DNF of P Cola. However,
Ah,
you
interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe you can shed some light on that. If he was in a party with you. But
Yeah, Picola ran out of fuel. I don't know what happened.
oh no. But
He's going
still,
too fast, I guess.
so yeah, of course, yeah, going too fast. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I think we probably
Um,
underfueled the car there at that moment, so I don't know. It
yeah,
may have been close on the bubble for him.
essentially the race was over at that point. I know, I get it, I get it. But either way, that still means that you are solidly in the title fight here. And as we go on to Kansas, of course, being in one of the admins for Cobra, our friends over at Cobra are also going to be at Kansas. Are you ready
Mm.
for a fun full weekend at Kansas?
I like running Kansas. I'm tired of using my brake here this weekend, so it's kind of shot. It should be a good time. Shout out to my team, Captain Xander Meatwagon. Good run tonight. Good win, Joker. It was a good time. It was a good time in the end, but
Oh, and also, I do want to say before I pass it off to you, Sauce, Agent Orange in the chat saying you're the real MVP, making sure that you knew or sorry, that he knew and checked on you after tornadoes came through. So he was giving you a shout out there.
yeah, for sure, man. I saw it coming towards him. I told everyone that I knew that was within that area.
Oh, definitely. It is going to be, of course, as we get into the that kind of season, it's going to only get worse. So, Sauce, again, coming coming up with another podium, and I'm sure you're happy to get out of here. P3, man, congrats.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Let's go on to the Twix car now, the 54. Speaking of team owners, Xander, you are the team owner of GMI and had a strong session here going into this event, winning the Saturday race and only coming up one spot short in the Monday race. Not quite able to get the sweep, but came so close there at the end. What happened?
Lap traffic. No, it was a good race. A lot of fun. Richmond's always a fun place. I don't know, the car just really struggled to start off a run. It took maybe about 20 laps for it to actually start running some decent pace for me. And then once it did, it just really couldn't turn into the corner. So might have to work on that a little bit for a different Richmond race. But yeah, I had no drive into the corner and then no drive out either. So I just would be really good in the center and then just really couldn't do much off the corner. And I also really couldn't do much on the outside of people.
Mm. I noticed a couple times that when you were shuffled out to the outside, it seemed like your car was like really hitting those bumps aggressively. I mean, like, was it like a tight situation or was it too loose? Because when you're talking about drive off, that tells me you were very tight.
Yeah, I was tight. So, I mean, especially like 25, like the first 25 laps, I would go into a corner and then I'd have to really slow it up. And that means my center was really good, but then my exit was really bad and I'd lose maybe a tenth off to Joker. And when you race at Richmond, you really need your drive off, especially. And then once you got to the later parts of a run, when it's still loose like that, I still wasn't really able to get drive off.
Well, I'll tell you what. With how close the tires were, a green white, or sorry, if the laps for stage three was any longer, we would be seeing a lot more people come on down. Were you surprised to see the amount of people that did actually stop to do that?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people pit. I guess Monster did. He kind of was an interesting aspect into some people's races. So I don't know. I was pushing it super hard, and I didn't really even realize my tire until about five to go, and I kind of backed off a little bit, and then I was like, well, I'm racing for a win, so if I blow it, I blow it, and who cares? So yeah, last five laps were kind of hard for me. I think I don't remember what happened, to be honest with you. I guess the one kind of got in the way of Joker, and I said screw it, I was gonna go for it, and then once I got into the corner, I there was nothing I could do except for try and park the bus. And when I parked the bus, obviously I'm going 15 miles per hour slower than Joker, so he's got no other no other choice but to basically hit me. And so when that kind of happened, I was just kind of shit out of luck. Excuse my language, because off the corner I just was super. I just couldn't drive off. So hats off to Joker. Hats off to Freedom. Super fun racing with you guys. I don't even know how Sauce managed to get top three out of that, but I'll take that. That's a great day for him. That's a championship day to have not really a top five car or be around the top five and then finish with a top three. So that's really impressive. And I'm really proud of Brandon tonight and Story Square. Story Square got top five. So all around good day for the guys. The car was as fast as Xfinity in there. I got to get that one out. And I don't really know what else. Thank you. I'm going to pull the Ty Gibbs card and say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Of course, you got to get that in there. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
Xander, congrats, man. Saturday win.
Hell yeah.
Monday P2. And now, speaking of the person that he was racing with, let's go over to Ryan Sieg for this. Joker. Off and on, you were like first place, second place, but quickly you found yourself back up to the top spot. Joker, absolute scenes there at the end. What was it from your POV with looking out at lap traffic?
Can I be mean? Or will I get in trouble?
As long as you're clean about it.
I'm just confused on, like, the idiots on the lap down. It was stupid. The one getting in the way, that's why the 54 got under me, and then the 10 moving me a lap down. I get you're on fresh tires, but you shouldn't be a lap down for a reason. It's inexcusable. At least the 15 had enough decency to get out of the way. You know, he's been racing up front, even at that Phoenix race, so I'm a bit disappointed in both. The one, because he was lapped literally like 20 laps before and got out of the way just fine. So, you know, it's just disappointing effort from both the 10 and the 1, and I hope they become better. So, yeah, it was just pretty stupid to deal with that in the finish. Me and Xander racing, you know, I'm sideways off the corner because we went almost 50 laps on those tires, and it was the longest run all race, and just really disappointed tonight. I don't even care that I won the race. So yeah.
That's a good reaction to that.
Well, yeah, that definitely was an interesting reaction. Not quite sure what to say to that, honestly. But I mean, yeah, I mean, congrats on the win, man. I guess that's all I gotta say, really. It's one of those things. Um, it's one of those things that I mean, obviously it's up to the drivers. And, they're up to their own prerogatives. Um, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But again, it's their own choice. So, but with that, Joker, congrats on the win, man. I mean, definitely, it was a battle between you and Xander. So, it was at least fun watching that.
Yeah, I mean, it still was a good race, and I didn't notice the 18 was. I don't know what happened to him, but um, I know the 8 of Freedom was quick, and then the 54 was there all race. I know he was the Cup winner on Saturday, I believe, too. So trying to stop him from sweeping that week was good. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even care about the race win. I just rather expect better driving from lap down cars within 5 to go.
Well, there we go. Words that definitely will be remembered in the paddock. We have um, a lot to talk about here for the championship implications of this race. So, with that, we're going to look at the point standings after everything's all said and done. Joker, congrats on the win, man. Xander P2. Sauce, I know he's already left, but he's also in the podium and also our current championship leader. So, congrats to him. P3. And with that, we're going to close on out for tonight. We'll be back this coming Saturday for Kansas to kick off the new race week. And then we'll have to have some fun, man. It's going to be Kansas, high, wide, and handsome. Let's go. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.